We're
It's
on.
Giggity. We're back. It's Indy. It's the Fluffy Unicorn 125. Our Xfinity driver, second race of the playoffs. As we just saw earlier at Road America, we saw Marcus take a win. And actually no, I'm mistaken. It's the fourth race of the playoffs, isn't it? Or is it the second race?
This is the second race of the playoff, week 1.
Okay, all right. So yeah, it's second race of the playoffs. You just saw Marcus take the first win. So can he go back to back, or will we see somebody new win the race to make this playoff a little interesting? As I have 3 other guys, two cup guys and a truck guy, like two truck guys with us up in the booth. We got Taddy, Arkham, and Shadow Grim in the booth. What do you guys think this race gonna be like?
I don't know. I'm up in the air. I mean, because if it comes down to fuel mileage, you can never count out Creed. Larson's good here. Hey, I think it's going to be a good race, and I'm loading the track.
We just got qualifying results too, by the way, guys.
Marcus did get the pole.
It was Marcus.
It looks like Matty got
Larson.
second. Oh.
It's Marcus, Larson, then Matty, Little Man, Internal, Baker Bones, Go With The Flow, Brian, and then Creed is last.
Did Creed get a lap in, or did he just join late?
He ran a 51.5.
Okay,
60.
that's all I was wondering. I was just wondering if he got a lap.
Yeah. But like saying, because it is elimination tonight, isn't it?
Yes, one of the drivers in tonight's race, this Indy race, will be eliminated.
Whoa.
Creed and work that
I got
out
in.
for
I got in too early. I got to back out. How the hell did I get in the race?
That's what happened to me earlier. Whenever I get an invite, I usually wait 5 more seconds or so. Back out, I said.
Yep.
I will
Okay, I'm in the
stop.
blue screen.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay, go ahead, Trey.
Well, like saying, I was saying while we wait, because I'm on screen and we see Marcus lean up front. But like saying, these guys, they're on the bubble. Like, who's on? Like say, I heard Creed's on the bubble, Brian, a lot of guys.
Yeah.
But a lot of these guys that's on the bubble. Do you think? Okay, now it's time to. Since you're on the bubble, that's when their tendency starts picking up. Like, do you just go for broke, try to go for the win, or just try to hope the other guy has a bad race?
You know, so if you're any of the drivers except for Creed, to answer your question, I'm being patient. I'm trying to win a stage, you know, not necessarily going for broke and giving it all, because just advancing is probably the most important thing. So if I'm on the bubble towards the end, I'm not trying to go for broke. I'm trying to be consistent to advance. If I'm Creed, I'm going for broke. I'm doing anything I can to get the stages and the victory.
But I don't mean to cut you off. We had a battle for the lead. Larson was looking the inside of Marcus, trying to get the lead. He had a little help from his teammate from Matty. Like saying, another question is, you see a lot of these guys, because there's like saying, on Marcus' standpoint, his teammates gotta battle each other out. While some of these other guys, I count there be like 3 or 4 Fords, 2 Chevrolets. You see these Fords maybe, because you see Marcus pull away at Road America. Do you think all these 3 Fords say, hey, I know we all race for a championship right now, but let's try to, could we see the guy who's going to be fighting, like say, who's going to be the front runner of Marcus? Do you think we should try to gain up on him, trying to show that, say, hey, there's 3 of us and 1 of him? Think try to gain up on him, so when we get to the finals, it's 1 Toyota but 3 Fords up there, so you can try to eliminate Marcus and have championship at least go to a 4th camp driver.
You know, to go exactly what you're saying, if I'm the Ford camp, I'm not even trying to worry about myself. I'm working together, like Larson, Flo, and Matty right here together. They need to get into a line, and if Marcus is on the top, they need to be down bottom. They need to cut that draft
Like that's
away.
what I saw earlier with
work.
Matty and Larson. They was teaming up trying to get by Marcus, but it's just like saying you gotta be cautious around here, because if you just kiss this apron here, it spins you. And that's the one thing you're going to have to watch out for. Well, see, Larson get in the wall, they stacking up behind him. But, like saying, because the preferred line in real life is to ride the apron on exit. I see the 60 of them, Manny, he got it. And that really spun on. But like saying, you want, if I'd say you have to at least clip it coming on exit to help the car fully rotate to the corner just a little bit, enough so you can get, like I saying, keep it wide open.
You kind of just need to settle the car. You need to burp the throttle and just let the car settle into 1 and 3. 2 and 4 here at this track, depending on the slider that you choose. Now to everybody watching, this is a preset race, but to go with what you were saying, Trey, 1 and 3, you really need to just burp the car. You're not really like trying to release the fuel gas, so to say. You're trying to let the car settle down so you're not too tight plowing and you're not too loose spinning out and catching the apron. You're kind of just letting the car settle. And then if you can settle it properly when you go into turns 2 and 4, you're able to just go wide open throughout the corner, which gives you a great straightaway speed. Now, if you mess up the burping going into 1 and 3, it messes up your 2 and 4, which again messes up your long straightaway speed. As I see a wreck in the back, the 1, the 19, looked like the
98.
98, that's who it was, the Eternal, correct? Is that going to bring out a caution? I believe it did.
It is. We're under caution. And as just before that happened, Marcus pulled over and let Larson take the lead.
I wonder if that's, the chat conversation. So we had Baker Bones and Brian. They're both in Marcus's chat, and they might have said that an accident happened. And so in this game, unlike real life, you're unable to choose which lane you want, whether it be inside or outside. And Marcus may actually like the run that he gets on the outside going into turn 1. And so he may have lifted, and Larson didn't realize there was anything coming out, or Larson might like the inside line going into turn 1.
Well, they gave it back, the lead back to Marcus.
Looks like everybody probably pitted except for Marcus, or it was the timing frame to where the caution come out and where the last frame they passed.
But like you said again, like I said, which line do you prefer? Do you prefer one to start on the outside or the inside? Like I say, as I see a couple guys, I say on this game you have to be on the bottom. That's the only way you get around people. As you see, like I said, Larson starting the outside, he lost 2 spots just trying to get around to get back in line. Like
something to go with that, something that's really hard on restarts here though. Marcus may like the outside line because at a track like this, like Indy, everybody's trying to get down to the bottom so hard. And going into turn 1, both the inside and the outside kind of both are up to speed. And so the outside line can actually pinch the inside, and the apron here is so drastic that if you get pinched down, you might catch it and spin out and lose all your position.
Yeah, but if you try to do that, it's a risk to take, because if you do that, you might be willing to take yourself out with them too.
Agreed.
Because, like I say, you pinch them down, they're gonna slide, and more than likely they're gonna slide into you, and that's gonna cause a big wreck. I don't think you remember the race with and Indy with Truex and Kyle Busch, 2 guys who dominated the race. Was the 2 guys that took each other out.
Little man's up to second, and he's got the draft, so he'll be up on Marcus's tailpipe here real soon.
But something else to look for. Oh, sorry. Something else to look for here in this race. Plant, actually, you commented on this here in our chat. Creed is the guy that needs the points here, and something that's really intriguing is we've actually seen this now prior to the last caution and now here. He kind of rides back behind everybody, and by riding behind everyone, he's able to save a little bit of fuel. We'll get back to that in a moment as Little Man's challenging Marcus.
Yeah,
right
Little
now.
Man's side by side, and that's letting Larson catch them back. They're side by side going into 2, and it looks like Little Man's going to clear Marcus, and here comes Larson to the inside of Marcus to take
Marcus
the second spot away. Now, by saying these guys, do you just gain up to get past Marcus because you know he's the dominant car and he's going to be the guy you have to race for the championship? Do you just...
If I'm Little Man and Larson, I'm not trying to mess with each other right now. We got Marcus in the rear view instead of in the windshield. If I'm Larson, I'm not even trying to pass the 3. I'm going to stay right on his bumper, follow him everywhere, and try to put a gap between the Ford and the Chevy at the front and the Toyota sitting there in third.
That's the question. How, like I say, I know you, like I say, it's easy to say that in the booth, But as a driver, you want to get the lead, so say another caution happen and the stage in. For a little man, that's a good thing, but for Larson, that's a bad thing. Little man gets stage points, Larson gets second, no points.
Well, I mean, yeah, you're right. It's kind of bittersweet, but what do you want to do here? You need the playoff points, but you really need to keep that 18 at bay, because if the 18
like saying it's a risk you work. Like I said from after the truck race, you have to think big picture. You don't have to win the race. You just got to make it to Homestead.
Oh,
it looks like
yeah.
Marcus caught the aprons coming out of
gets the wall
4.
coming off. Is the
Like,
people that are 1, 2, and 3 are actually 1, 2, and 3 in the points too. So those are your top dogs. Fourth place of Flo. He's fourth place in points as well.
but like I said again, these guys. I understand Marcus is a dominant car, but do you try to push it just to show that you can stay with them, or wait to Homestead? Like I say, you can let him win all the races here, but if you can make it to Homestead and challenge him, that's the thing you have to think about. Do I want to show my stuff now or wait to Homestead?
So I want to go back to something that I was starting to say earlier. The 40 car Creed, in both before the caution and now, if you catch him, he seems to be riding in the back. This man is notorious for saving fuel. It's probably not going to benefit him here in the 2 stages. As I don't know as if they're even going to have to make a pit stop, but this man is notorious, and he's the guy outside looking in. As he's riding behind these guys, just close enough to stay in the draft. If somebody makes a mistake, he can avoid it. At the same time, because he's following it in the draft like that, when he's catching up to them, he can lift and save a lot of fuel throughout this track. It seems impossible, being as this is such a big track, but if anybody can do it, it's going to be that 40 car. Definitely somebody to watch by the end of the race.
But I also wanted to make a note. I know it's not a big thing, but it's a common thing we see. I know we was getting hyped to the turn. It's kind of the butt of the joke, but he's done for today. It looks like he lagged out now.
Oh,
He made
I hate that.
About five laps. So he's getting there. We see that, big wreck. 60 and 40s around. That might bring on caution. But I bet Eternal's wishing this whole league, this whole season, just road courses. Because that's about the only time his internet will let him race.
That's so crazy.
Caution.
You know, maybe something that's going on there is the road courses, the cars spread out so much and you're not around the other vehicles. Maybe that has something to do with this lag. Either way, huge shout out. The guy's lagging out every oval track that we go to, or a square track like this one. But the man shows up and he started every race. No matter what, you gotta give kudos. The reason he's here is by showing up.
Yeah. But, like saying, I know we see Low Man Larson leaning against Marcus. But, like saying, do you force the issue? If you see him giving a run, do you try to hold him back, or you just let him go? And hopefully
that was actually at the end of the stage.
Oh, pit strategy.
Little man just won stage 1. With Larson second, Marcus third, Flo fourth, Creed finishes 5th, Matty in 6th, Brian in 7th, Baker Bones in 8th, and Eternal did lag out, and he finishes 9th.
But as we're going back green, Baker is up front. May play a little strategy, trying to get back up there. May play a little strategy, trying to see if he can stay up front with some of these guys, but he's going to wash it up. And the little man that's going to overdo it for Larson.
Little man.
They're going to be 3 wide for the lead.
Little man showing some power going by on the high side.
Yeah, I think that's some help from Baker Bones with no tires. He can't hold it. Oh, he tried to put a block on Larson. Is it going to stick? I don't know how to keep it all straight. But as that happened, Marcus is trying to get back to the lead. He will get on the little man for the lead right here. And he will clear and come out 4. And he will take back the lead from little man. So we got return leader at the 18 back up front here at Indy.
The little man's crossing him over.
After that stage, a quick point update. If Flo and Larson now 3rd and 4th in points entering this, Larson does have a 2 playoff point advantage over Flo. But if Flo can get a stage win and possibly a race win, either or, that would be a win would be 3 playoff points for Flo, which would actually move him into 3rd place in the points. Go ahead, sorry.
Contact with the leaders. Oh, the leaders are wrecking. Big red. 3:28. Everybody's
19.
around. Big red. Are we still? I think I'll bring up caution.
Yeah.
Is getting through that, we have Marcus Flo. Again, there's that 40 car Creed as he's sitting in third, and Matty made it through also in the 60 car. Good job to those guys. I can't get over, Creed, he missed that first race. He's definitely on the on the outside looking in. But in this race, he's in the cat burglar seat. If anybody can say too, it's going to be him. And being right there in the top 5 all race, he's got a good shot at winning this race.
Absolutely. Especially if it comes down to fuel mileage. You can never count him out on a fuel mileage race, ever.
I swear, I think they got gas in that roll cage somewhere. That's how you make so with your hand.
I mean, he might be the only driver out there that has a reserve tank.
Oh, looks like he played a little strategy, trying to get up front, maybe trying to get some stage points as Creed stayed out. And looks like he might be up. He's gonna be the leader coming to the line here.
Creed needs to get the stage win and the race win to have any shot at advancing here in the playoffs, as he missed the first race at Road America. But with Eternal also being on the bubble with Brian, that gives him the opportunity.
Oh, we got 4 cars wrecking. It's going to be another caution.
Big wreck panel. As the 3-1. No, it was the 1.
The one's up here.
The 60.
I think, a lot of guys, looks like the 60 man caught the apron in turn 1. That just sent him around. But, like I said, with Creed playing a little strategy, and 2, having his teammate, like I said, he started behind him on the last restart. Do you think Marcus will help Creed get that stage win? Maybe try to help him get some friends in this playoffs.
So I'm looking at the playoff stats here, and Brian's on the bubble and Creed's on the bubble. And with Eternal lagging out, Brian should be able to pass him. So if I'm Marcus right now, looking ahead and not so much on a selfish fact, Marcus he's in the playoffs. He's in Homestead. With the playoff points that he has, there's just no question that he will be one of the 4 drivers in Homestead. And it doesn't hurt to have a little help there. So, like, to go with what you're saying, maybe pushing Creed to the victory, maybe even a stage win, anything he can do to help Creed and give him the opportunity to advance, that might be in Marcus's best interest.
So I can vouch for that. It's always good to have some teammates, because I think one of the final races before you go home is Daytona, so to have a guy like that behind you that at least help you is a good thing. But Creed's starting to hold his own as they go through the corner. And
we got a little bump from Marcus.
He's on the apron.
Big Bob's the impact for the lead now. But he's got no draft help. Exactly what we were talking about. As the 2 Chevys are side by side with the 3 and the 1. As Little Man looks like he's going to the outside of Marcus now.
Baker drove it in there. He tried to get the stick.
Big contact. We got contact.
Brian and Larson made some contact. Brian SP and Kay Larson with a little contact there.
And Larson got into Little Man a bit too.
But I think there's no caution. They're stringing out just a little bit. But the 2 guys up there, Marcus and Little Man, they're going at it now. Can Little Man catch Marcus for another stage point?
I actually think he can, because I think Little Man's actually a little bit better than Marcus right now.
It's really hard to guess that. I'm not going to say that what you're saying is wrong there, Arcam, but something that's really tricky at these tracks is trying to figure out who's faster. When you're within a half second of somebody, the draft just draws you up so fast that Little Man down these long straightaways, all he's got to do is really stay close, and that goes for stage wins, that goes for race win. As long as you're within that half second, anything could happen.
We want to talk about that too. Just think about this, Trey.
Oh, Little Man caught the apron.
Truck race in Iowa. For example, that draft on him.
Yeah, the draft.
Ooh, got car going. Somebody's going to hit the inside wall, and I think going down pit road.
0-0.
And that looks like the 0-0 go with the flow. That's a tough break for him. He's going to be forced down pit road.
Now, positive to that is, with how long this track is, he should be able to, he's going to have a penalty. It's going to be a 30-second stop. If I was him, I would probably go ahead and just make the 4-tire pit stop and not just drive through, take the penalty. I would do the pit stop. They've got to be nearing the end of stage 2. And if that's the scenario, maybe he can play some strategy, get out front, stay out at the end of this stage, and be in the cat burglar seat going into stage 3.
Little man may still be getting a whiff of his draft. I'm not sure. I think he is.
It's getting strung out between and this will be they'll be on. It looks like they're on the white flag of the stage. So this is a white flag lap here, and Marcus is pulling away from Little Man.
It actually looked like I was wrong, as it does seem like Flo went a lap down. Now, a positive to this, and being the only car a lap down, is at the end of the stage he'll actually be able to pit and stay on the same cycle, and he'll be the lucky dog. He'll have to start in the rear either way, so he'll be able to go ahead and just get back on the same cycle as all our leaders.
Yeah, but as they come out 4.
Oh, that is 4. Sorry.
Coming out 4, Marcus will take another stage one and get another playoff point. All right, so that's the end of the stage. Marcus takes first. Little Man's in second. Maddie's in third.
Is that Maddie or is that Larson?
That's
No, Larson.
The fatal 28 of Larson, yeah. And then Creed creeping around there in fourth.
Having a
Brian.
solid race.
Now, as we go into the final stage, do we see White Larson, Little Man, try to, like saying, force the issue, try and get past Marcus, or should they just ride for a little bit until the end of the race?
You know, if I have an opportunity, to answer your question there, if I have an opportunity to ride with Marcus or race him, I'm trying to pass him. Anybody else on the track, if Marcus has an issue and somebody else gets to the lead, I might ride with them and wait till the final corner and try to make my move. But if it's Marcus, I want to get by him and I want to try to separate as soon as possible. If you're drafting with him, that means you're helping him as well. And the guy's good. And the negative about being good is you don't have any friends on the track. Even his own team at this point probably doesn't want to work with him. They want to get by him. They want him to work with them, but they don't want to work with him.
But, like saying, ooh, they're stacking up behind him. 19, 41, 60. Everybody's about the top. Oh, no, not 60, but a lot of guys behind them. But, like saying, if you and some of these guys, and you see, like saying, I would want to follow Marcus, but stay with them. Don't let him get away. And then maybe, like saying, here the best way to get around somebody on a green flag run is try to outsmart them. Like saying, some of these guys, like in the 4 camp, maybe just ride behind them. But when we make green flag pit stops, pit a lap before him. That's gonna make up a lot of time, especially if y'all two are in the draft compared to him being by himself. That's gonna make up a big difference, and you can get out ahead of him.
Something to go with exactly what you're saying. Pit strategy is gonna be it's a huge factor on a track like this. What's gonna hurt the other 7 drivers that still remain on the track? You have to let the race be decided on pit strategy. You can't let the race be decided on speed. As Marcus has proved that as he pulls off, he falls way back.
I think he didn't pit. I think he forgot to pit
also. So again, pit strategy is a huge thing, and him forgetting to pit, and now he's going to be in the rear. Right here, if I'm the leaders, I'm staying out because I guess he's in the back. Either way, you can pit because he's going to have to pit. But all these cautions is hurting everyone. Marcus set on the pole. He's won stage 2. Other than Little Man, there hasn't really been anybody to show that they can go up there and beat him. If you're the other 7 cars, you need to let it be fuel strategy. Maybe give each other a little bit more room, because if you're racing each other hard and causing cautions, all that's doing is taking strategy out and it's throwing it out the window. It's just saying, let's be the first car on that final restart to be the one to cross the line. And Marcus has proved these last 3-4 weeks that he's the car finishing the race first.
But like I said, like you see right now, Creed's up front. As some of these bubble drivers, maybe they'll play a little strategy of their own. Maybe not. Like I say, they know they can make it. Maybe just stay out a little longer. Because like I say, Creed's known for fuel mileage.
So real quick, I don't know if any of the drivers out there on the track are having broadcast going at the same time as they're racing, but with that stage there, Brian actually finished 1 point behind Creed, and Creed is yet to get a victory in one of the stages. So Creed will be the driver that's eliminated after tonight's race. So at this point in time, you know you're in. It kind of changes your strategy a little. Earlier, it was, oh, Brian gets into Marcus. Marcus falls way back as he's in the wall. He's spinning.
Oh man.
That might have just saved everyone else. Now, if you're the top
caution's
guy,
out.
like I was saying earlier, the caution did come. Dang. So back to what I was saying. With Creed being eliminated and everybody already knows that they've advanced, there's nothing up for grabs right now except for those stage points. You need to race hard. You need to be the victor. You need those 3 stage or playoff points. Excuse me, the playoff points going into the next week.
But if I was Creed, I'd just say, screw it, let's go for broke. Only thing right now matters, since we can't race champions, either bring me a steering wheel, bring me the trophy.
Oh, absolutely. I agree 100%. And that actually, Creed has nothing to lose. And realistically, you know, your Bryans, your Matties, your Baker Bones, they don't have anything to lose here either. You don't want to make enemies if you're Larson and Littleman kind of up there sitting good and maybe even Flo. But if you're Matty, if you're Baker Bones, if you're Brian, a victory shows a lot right here. Going into the round 2 of the playoffs, if you can get a victory now, you're saying, hey, I'm here too, Marcus. This ain't just for you. I'm here to win this championship as well.
Looked like Matty got on the apron a little bit and got Flo.
Big wreck. Everybody's everywhere.
Yeah, but like you said again, like some of these guys is pushing the issue. Do you want to, or do you just want to, like say, push it when you need to? God, like say, from my point of view in my playoffs, like I say, I know that if I just finish, like I say, just finish strong, like I don't have to win. I just need to finish. I have a chance to go to the Final Four. Now that, like I said, the Xfinity division has more competition and a lot more to fight for. A lot of these guys are close in points to fight to get to the Final Four. And like I say, it's the first round. Do you want to push the issue, or do you just want to, like I said, ride it, figure out who you have to beat to get there?
You see, I think right now everybody was in a really good spot with Marcus being pinned at the back. If they could have just straightened it out and gone and kept him back there, then it made it a lot harder for him to get up through the field.
Marcus' biggest fan right now is that 40 of Creed. With Creed going to be eliminated, if he can take those 3 playoff points, that means one of the other drivers that are still in contention.
Over 3 wide for the lead.
As Marcus is shooting up the inside looking for second place.
And Marcus,
Matty and Creed get into each other on the outside. They're still making contact. And this is the last thing you wanted to see if you're the rest of the field, is Marcus is now in second. If you're a little man, you know you're feeling a little good, but you still don't want to see that 18. Oh, as the 18 goes to the inside of the 3 for the lead right now. Oh, they make contact. The 3 in the wall.
And it looks like they're going to be still green with that,
Staying green.
That's a tough break for Lil Man. It looked like Marcus had to run the inside. Lil Man was trying to give him a little pinch down, and it just didn't work. But as you see right now, you see the 28 of Larson getting up to the ground. But like I say, you see, if I was Larson, I'll ride right now until, like I say, until Marcus make a mistake, or see if his teammate can catch up to him and they can try and run him down.
So, something that's tricky about that, though, if you just ride behind Marcus, you could be the one that makes a mistake and take yourself out of contention. You may want to get by him as soon as you can, if possible, and make Marcus be the one pushing to get back to the lead. If you're just sitting there riding and you get onto the apron or you make a mistake, Marcus is just clear sailing. As you can see, even with that draft, Larson is falling away from Marcus right now. And if Larson can get up there and he can race side by side with Marcus, that's actually going to bring the flow up to the both of them, and then Larson would have some help up there, as it would be 2 Fords on that one Toyota.
Baker Bones had a little bit of trouble coming off of turn 4, almost went in the pits.
Also, I'm thinking with all these cautions that we've had, I think that the pit strategy has gone out the window. I believe that we're down to, this is probably going to be a race to the finish without having to pit.
You're probably right. Tough break for Little Man, though.
Oh man, you hate to see that happen. You know, he won that first stage. He's been up there competitive. I still think that Little Man was the only car that could have contended with Marcus. And as it's proven right here, Larson was right on Marcus, and Marcus just up and drives.
I think they're coming to a couple laps ago, because I watched the Little Man screen, and it's a little bit behind, but they said they're on lap 48. So they might be getting close to that white flag lap. So Marcus may just look for the sweep tonight.
Oh man.
But again, so I was saying, a lot of these guys, I know you see Marcus winning these races, and he's showing he's a top contender for a championship, but it's still early. Where, like I'm saying, this is not the race that wins the championship. This is just a race that.
This is how you get there.
Yeah. So for like a guy like Larson, a guy like Baker Bones, Flo, even though you might finish second here, that's still a lot of points that helps you get two. Because I say you already know Marcus is there, but now you just know this: just 3 more spots there at Homestead. So you just gotta make sure you're in that 3 that gets to Homestead. So to be honest, I'm not more worried about racing Marcus. I'm more about racing everybody else.
Now, actually, so to go with that, Little Man, Larson, and Flo, even though it's upsetting to see Marcus up there and winning, at the end of the day, they need to be happy, because with Creed missing that race, Creed was entering the playoffs. He was in 5th place in points because of playoff points. He had 3. He was the closest to Flo, who had 5 entering the playoffs. Now the closest one is going to be Maddie and Baker Bones, who both have 1. So actually, with Creed being the one to be eliminated, all 3 of these guys, Larson, Little Man, and Flo, they actually have a bigger gap and a bigger space, helping them make it to the playoffs. Is inevitably,
I think that was a race
for them. I actually do too. So Marcus, with the victory, sweeps the Thursday night playoff round 1.
But again, like saying for guys like Baker Bones, Brian, all that stuff, do you now for the rest of the season maybe play a little more aggressive early in the stage? I know you can't get the win, but stage points, like some might see going back and forth with these guys, you might see later on in the season as the playoff goes around.
If I'm Baker Bones, Brian, Eternal, Maddie, those 4 drivers, the final week of the playoffs, 4 people make it, 3 are going to go to Homestead. The 4 on the outside looking in right now are Maddie, Baker Bones, Brian, and Eternal. Maddie and Baker Bones are in a little bit better of a spot going into next week, as 2 more people will be eliminated, and Brian and Eternal have no points, no playoff points. So Maddie and Baker Bones have that 1 point to play with. And with Eternal's lag issue, you know, they might be feeling pretty good. They just have to beat Brian. But if I'm any of those 4, next week especially, I'm driving my hardest. I don't care. I'm doing whatever I can to get playoff points, because without them, all 4 of those drivers are in a bad situation right now.
Okay, so who are we going to invite? Marcus? Obviously.
Absolutely, got to invite Marcus.
Okay.
I'll invite him if you have the broadcast, so let's keep your screen good.
All right.
Shadow, I'm going to need you to accept him.
But
Looked like Maddie and Brian got together coming in on the final lap.
We're actually, so the 3 guys I want to invite in here, I want to get Marcus, I want to get Little Man, kind of see what happened there at the end, but I also want to bring in Maddie, coming in from the outside looking in going into these last couple weeks.
All right. Welcome, Marcus. Congratulations, man.
Hey,
Yeah.
Marcus, real quick. You have your stuff on always loud, correct? You're breaking up there.
Okay, there we go.
Alright. You may want to go ahead and repeat what you just said there, bub.
Okay. I just want to say, little man, if you can hear me out, I'm sorry. On my screen, I pulled out. It looked like you came down, and either I accidentally came up, or maybe we both got each other. I'm sorry. So I just want to just get that out there.
What, you making that Monday morning phone call early?
What's going on?
Oh, he
Nah,
was
so you
just-
making that Monday morning phone call early?
Yep, making it early. I
But,
feel it coming.
but Marcus,
Yes, sir.
because I'm saying you dominated tonight, winning polls, winning the races, winning the stages. How do you feel going to this playoff towards the championship? Do you feel like you're the dominant car or the car to beat to win the championship?
I wouldn't say all that, because to be honest, this is just the first round. There's plenty more rounds to go, so you don't know. Anything can honestly happen. So yeah, I could be the dominant car, but there could be somebody else that could just come out of nowhere and be the dominant car to start getting high throughout the playoffs. So I wouldn't say I'm the dominant, but there's just a whole lot of things that could just happen between these weeks as the playoffs go by.
You know, you're sitting pretty comfortable right now, Marcus. To go with what Trey was just saying, you're sitting pretty comfortable as far as making it into the final week. But we all know how it goes. There's 2 races the final week. Final 4 make it there. The points don't matter anymore. It's the best finisher, the 3 best finishers at the first race advance into Homestead, and then it's everyone up for grabs. Who are you looking at right now as your biggest competition in both the last 2 races and going into Homestead? Who are you the most concerned about out of the drivers?
Well, the two I know for a fact that's on my head is Little Man and Larson. And the only reason I say Little Man and Larson, well, I'm gonna throw Baker in there, but I just want to focus on Little Man and Larson. The way they ran tonight, I could already go ahead and see that those two are gonna be the ones that's gonna be close. Because I don't know if you saw, but it was a little bit of 2-on-1, and I really couldn't do nothing about it. So that's how I kind of see how it's gonna be. So honestly, for me, just Little Man and Larson, that's honestly who I see in Miami.
You know, that's a good answer. The top you 3 have been the 1, 2, 3 kind of all season. But somebody that I don't know if he's on your radar, but he keeps being one of the top 3, 4, maybe top 5 car every week in, week out. You know, and he's sitting 4th in points, only 2 behind Larson in the point standings now. Go with the flow, man. He looked really good at the road courses, and even there at Indianapolis, he's right on you. And I'm thinking, man, you better be looking out for him. As he's a creeper coming up on you all these weeks.
Oh, I am. I'm also, like I said, everybody in here is a great driver. Every single one of these drivers are great, and you're gonna have those group of guys that's gonna keep being consistent, showing top 5s, top 4s, top 3s. You're gonna have those people, and they're normally the ones to catch fire and be high. So honestly, pulling out being good job, go with the flow, man. You starting to cook a little bit, man. I'm gonna be honest.
One more quick question, and then we'll get you on your way, and we'll get the another couple guys in here. There was a restart. You fell to the apron almost immediately. Did you forget to pit?
It was something like that. I whenever we came to the green, I kind of noticed that I took tires and I didn't take fuel. So
Ooh.
I went down. I was 3 short. I was like 3, 4, 5 short. So I tried to get on the apron. I wasn't trying to mess anybody up. And I think I kind of caused the whole domino effect and nobody knew. So my apologies to everybody. I know you guys didn't know what I was doing, but I didn't want anybody to think I brought that out on purpose or anything. I really didn't mean to. I was trying to get to the bottom, get the 8, get away from everybody, so that I could kind of give them a sign. But I guess it was kind of too late, and I kind of caused that domino effect. So I didn't mean to, but just like I said, I took tires and no freaking fuel like a dummy. So
Yeah, I mean, it's part of racing.
just dumb mistake. Just a dumb mistake by me, and that won't happen.
It happens to everybody. Everybody misses a pit stop every once in a while. It just happens. You forget to push that button the last time, or just didn't happen to notice the changes you were making until it's too late.
Yeah, and like I said, I didn't mean to,
Right.
I didn't mean to cause a fumble, domino effect, but
Well,
Yeah,
it was pretty obvious that you were trying to get out of the way to me anyways, and I'm sure that they realized it too.
But
Well, congratulations on a good night again.
We'll let you
Broke
get
out
back
the
and
broom
start
again.
celebrating.
thank you. I think I'm gonna go to this party now whenever I get off the game.
Heck yeah.
All right, man. Well, congratulations from everybody here at Giggity.
All right, man. Thank you guys, and you guys have a great night.
You too.
All right.
Alright, so who are we bringing in next? Little Man or Maddie?
I invited Maddie.
Alright.
Well, I invited him. He may not still be online anymore.
But in Maddie's position, what do you think is the best situation for him? Just try to get a win, or just try to see if he can just try to score some playoff points?
Yeah, that's actually why I wanted to bring him in. It's looking like he's offline, so we're going to go ahead and get Little Man in here. But I was interested to see his take on it. And outside looking in, going into these next couple weeks, he's got 2 weeks to try to get himself some stage points and advance into the final week. And it's all or nothing. Maddie and Baker Bones are both in the same spot. They both only have 1 point or 1 playoff point, excuse me, and they're following Flo with 5. So they're everybody's starting with at least a 4-point gap from where they are.
Little Man.
So getting into that final week. Little Man, real quick, do you have your privacy setting to always allow?
Yep. Yeah, it's on there.
Alright. Tough luck there, man, at Indy. That was a bad deal getting caught there without getting a caution.
Yeah. Well, be alright.
We just had Marcus in here, and he was very apologetic for it. He said it looked to him like you guys just kind of came together. He wasn't sure if you came down or he came up, but he felt really bad about it and wanted to make sure and let you know he was sorry about it.
I was told he come up. But I thought I held my line pretty good. I've been riding on the outside whenever I had somebody up under me anyway, but it happens. That'll be next week.
Yeah.
How do you feel going so far in this playoff? Do you think you can get past Marcus and take this title away?
Oh yeah, he'll see me at Homestead. He'll see me at Homestead.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
I ain't no good on them road courses, but I looked on finish third tonight.
You were running strong at Indy. You were. I actually, honestly.
Yeah, I had a good car tonight.
I thought me personally, Little Man, I thought you were the only car that I could see visually that was able to keep up with Marcus, and then there was that little bit of contact, and on my screen, you know, I was watching and I couldn't quite tell. It kind of looked like both cars kind of just met in the middle. Maybe Marcus was trying to stay off the white line. You were trying to get down as low as you could, being on the outside. I'm not so sure, but either way, going into these playoffs, you got it. I mean, going into these next couple rounds, what's your game plan? Are you just trying to get some points, or are you just trying to ride and just make it to Homestead?
I'm like Kyle Busch. Wide open as fast as you can every lap.
Heck yeah.
I mean, I give a little bit, but I mean, you see how I run them on that last restart? I made it 3 wide.
Yeah, oh yeah, we've seen it.
I was
You
going
made
for
it
the
3
win.
wide, and you might have helped Marcus actually. Is when you went 3 wide, the guy that dropped down with you and followed you up through was actually Marcus.
Yeah, I know. I didn't care. I was going for the win.
That's what it's all about, brother.
Shoot, yeah.
That's all I wanted to do.
All right, man. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you in these upcoming weeks and see what you have, and see if you can't be the one car that can beat that 18 as you're leading the Chevy pad for sure. And we're all excited to watch you, and hopefully we'll see you at Homestead.
I'm gonna be there. Ain't no
I
doubt.
have no doubt.
Too many roundy rounds for me not to make it.
All right, well, good run tonight.
As long as I
Bye-bye.
stay out of trouble. I always got
Yeah.
bad luck. But I'm gonna make it somehow.
I have no doubt.
All right.
Y'all boys be good.
You too.
All righty.
I have fun.
All right, so there's our little man as he's going into next week, second place in points as he's following by quite a bit Marcus, but at the same time he's leading pretty good, pretty comfortably over Larson with a 5-point lead, and with how close him and Larson are, it should be a pretty tight battle between them. Next in here we got Matty. He didn't have the greatest of finishes tonight. Matty, do you have your party settings set to always laugh?
I do now.
All right.
All right, man. Well, hey, there at Indy, you look like you had a pretty strong car. We've seen you up in the top 5, 3, 4 there for quite a bit during the race. Looked like a few incidents, a little bit of contact pushed you back. But all in all, how'd you feel about your car?
Oh, it definitely was strong. I mean, I had a decent qualifying out of it. I was with that 18 in qualifying, and I mean, I ran side by side with him, and I knew it wasn't good for a qualifying lap, but I think everybody in the Xfinity has, a little monkey on their back with that 18 out here. It's kind of like chasing a rabbit.
But, I'd actually mentioned that there in the broadcast. I'd said, Marcus is doing a great job, and he's controlling the series right now. But at the same time, what that does is it puts target on your back. Nobody wants to help him. Everybody wants to team up. They want Marcus behind them, pushing them when there's a draft. But you don't want to be the guy behind Marcus helping him.
Yeah, and that was the thing in qualifying. I mean, I knew I had a decent car because I was right there with him, and I actually got a good draft lap off him. And then I was like, you know what? I know I at least got one decent one. I'll start wherever, and I just wanted to stay side by side with him for a minute. He comes out here and he can just put a whooping on if he's down for it. And this time it kind of felt like I had a car to kind of show him something. Like you said earlier, a couple incidents got me back in the pack, and I had to keep working my way up. But all in all, I mean, something to prove. At least I had the power tonight. I definitely felt like Indy was a top 3 car, definitely. But all in all, some decent racing.
How'd you there at the road course, Road America? Yeah, you're next.
There was some not so good words coming out of my mouth at that road course. I can tell you that. There was one point I got into. Oh yeah. There was one point I got into Little Man, and I said it right off the bat. My cat. I was like, my bad, Little Man. I was like, I'm sorry. And then all of a sudden, me and him were side by side for a little while, and that was fun. But I'm not a big fan of the road courses. I don't like the whole not seeing where you can turn and where you got to brake and all that bull crap. And I'd rather just make left turns.
I feel you.
Just keep it simple for me and just let me turn left.
Yeah. But getting back to this playoff talk, you on but you're on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
What do you see you need to do to get get into knock out these top 4. You got Marcus, Lil Man, Larson, and Bo Flo. I know 2 of them are your teammates, but at the end of the day, you want to win that championship. What do you think you have to do you think the aggression's got to pick up, or you just got to play a little bit different strategy to beat those guys?
To be honest, both is going to intensify here. You know, second round coming up and everything. Yeah, it's going to be a different one out there in that 60 car. It's kind of doing the other type of rule book now, you know, with the playoffs and everything. So just try to get some stage points, really, I guess. I mean, that's what's really going to help you. I mean, the 18, he's got, you know, a decent cushion just by stage points, just by racing smart.
Yeah.
Might have to pick up the aggression now, though, because that was proven tonight with the playoffs. You know, it's already picked up.
So I want to reiterate something a little bit right there. So the intensity is going to pick up. You have 1 point over Eternal, and you have 1 point over Brian. So you have a 1 point lead because 2 drivers get eliminated again next week. But you're a 4 point deficit to Flo, and the only way to make that up is to get some playoff points. Now, back to what you had said earlier is you didn't like Road America, you didn't like Mid-Ohio last week as the road course, and you're not a big fan. Next week, the first race of the week is the Roval. How do you feel about going into that road course of them all?
See, the Roval I don't really mind much because it's kind of simple. You just got to watch out for turn 1 and those little, you know, chicane type. Yeah, the chicane areas. As long as you get through those and you let everybody else around you wreck, I think it'll be good. But as far as like Road America, Mid-Ohio, Canadian Tire, those ones they're just too new to me. I mean, the Roval was something fun when the game came out. It was the first track I did. You know, Taddy, you and I actually had some fun on it when it first came out. And
Still do.
I mean, I feel like the Roval is one track between, you know, with this league, we've done the Roval quite a few times. As far as the other road courses, we hadn't really got to for the Xfinity. So this was kind of like throwing a curveball at everybody. However, I did think that the road course was some decent racing at some points.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, everyone here at Giggity, we're excited to watch. Little Man, you're still in here. We're excited to see how this all pans out. As Marcus is looking strong, like he's going to be in the Homestead event. With that said, I mean, he could be eliminated in the race prior, as all 4 drivers will go into that week and only 3 advance into Homestead. So there might be some teamwork to get rid of that 18 cars. A lot of people are seeing him as a potential winner. So we're all excited to see you guys and see who can make it down there to that final week. Real quick, Little Man and Maddie, we'll start with you, Little Man. I want to get your overall take on the Giggity Racing League in general. To a viewer that's watching this video right now, how do you guys feel about this league and the overall census of it?
It depends on what day it is.
It depends if I win or if I lose.
I mean, you know, I mean,
all depends on if you save 8 laps at
it
that
depends on who's
right?
around you too.
Well, I want to, real quick, with you, Little Man, you're kind of in a different breed than, so to say, Maddie is even though you're in the hunt here in the Xfinity preset series, you're also the points leader in our custom Xfinity series. So you're not new to these Xfinity cars, you know. So we're excited to see you overall, and you developed well.
When the game come out, I started running trucks a little bit, you know, because it was new. Because last games didn't have the trucks, but then when they brought the trucks in, I started running the trucks, and I got addicted to Xfinity on Speed 2, and I worked on them, and I got used to them. I'd rather run them the trucks. That's just me.
Yeah,
all right. And now, same thing, Maddie. How you feel overall in the general census of the league, and then we're going to let everybody go, and we'll be ending our broadcast here.
General sense, real quick. I mean, the league's awesome. It's fun. You do have, like Little Man said, your nights. You know, like there's the phone. As Trey would say, the phone is blowing up right now, and I know it is. So we're going to be getting back to that. You know, get that sorted out. But it is fun. It's, you know, it's really deep down, it's like a brotherhood. You're gonna have nights where your phone's blowing up and you're yelling at each other, and then you're gonna have nights like, say, me and Little Man. I say right off the bat, Little Man, I'm sorry, you know, and he gets in my chat, and all of a sudden it's like, Matt, you non-breaking some bitch, you know.
Yeah, it's fun.
I don't know if we
It's
can
fun.
say that. It's close to PG.
Oh, my bad.
Oops.
My bad.
Well, it's
Well,
Canadian,
so
so it's allowed up here. So it's still PG. You can say that up here.
But no, it is fun. It is fun all in general. So,
Yeah.
With all that said, to everyone out there viewing and any of our future or current drivers, if you guys are looking toward getting into a good fun league, you know, contact any of us here. Anybody here can point you in the right direction with their admins and get you into the league. And with all that said, our next race that'll be broadcast will be coming this coming Sunday with our custom preset league as they enter round one of the playoffs, going into Atlanta and Texas. So for all of us here, myself, Shadow Graham, Arkham, Trey, Little Man, and Maddie still here. Good night and see you Sunday.
night.
All
Night.
right.
Good night.